Hey guys, this is just going to be a quick video on maintenance of your brakes. Ugh, fly. Maintenance of your brakes up front. Even if your brakes aren't bad, it's a good idea. I do this usually once in the spring, once in the maybe in the winter if there's a nice day. But anyway, it's just basically take the tire off, inspect your rotor, have a look on the front and the back. Can't see on this one, it's got a shield, but from the other side you can see if there's any deep grooves, any pitting, stuff like that, worn excessively. And then basically what I'm going to do is take these bolts off that hold the actual caliper on, and then we will lube the slide pins. Once those seize, your brakes are basically done. They're gonna stick in one position. They're gonna work right. You're gonna have clunking in the. You're gonna feel, clunking in the pedal, or if a pad sticks, you're gonna feel that. Basically, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna squeak a lot more. You could have random squeaks like every half revolution, things like this. So anyway, I'll take these off. This one's just a 6 mil. So yeah, there's one here that was just stubborn. You can see it on the back side here. Push back the boot, there's your bolt. Whoops. Then that comes out, there's one. I think you got it out far enough, or loose enough. Just pop back this boot. It's not ready yet. These ones are actually well greased. I think I may have greased these recently, but I don't remember if I did or not, so I'm doing it anyway. So anyway, once those are out, that's it. Your caliper will actually come off. Okay guys, so sometimes you gotta pry this off a bit to get it to come loose. But once you get that off, you're home free. Sometimes you just gotta push these pistons back a bit and use a screwdriver, or not a screwdriver, use a pry bar to pry it up a bit. Usually it'll pry off of one side and then kind of pull out the other side. So but once that's off, there's slide pins are actually right in here. So you can see this slide pin here. Now this side's pulling right out. I think I greased these recently, but yeah, it's a little dry. But yeah, the other side pulling out pliers. I like what I'll have to do with this one, but try not to nip. You don't really want to grab onto the boot. Just grab onto the slide pin, pull it out, and there you go. Now what I've been doing is I always just clean up all the surfaces, all this dirt in here. You'll see, if I wipe it off right now, it's shiny. So I get all that gunk off inside of both sides. Take the pads off. They just pop off. I'll clean all this gunk off the pads. Put some new lubricant on. Inspect the pads. You see the pads on this one. They don't look too bad. They look pretty good actually. You want to make sure there's no gunk in that line. That's there to basically direct and catch all the brake dust, so it doesn't just keep building up. See that one there? It's got that little build up there, so I'll knock that out. Take note of I usually keep the inside one as the inside, the outside one as the outside. Some cars it matters. This one you can actually switch them, so just keep note of everything. while you're here, you can take note of your ball joints and anything else that you want to look at, basically. I always hang up my caliper with a bungee cord, just so it's not hanging on the line there. So we'll get these cleaned up. Alright guys, so I'm back, it's like 5 minutes later. That's all it really takes. So I just cleaned up all these. I put a little anti-seize on there. I don't like them rusting up, so that's just me. You do whatever you want. But I cleaned up all those sliders. These pins we'll put grease on. The brake pads, usually what I do is just wipe off, get off all the old stuff, and just lightly, it's just like a wipe. You just put a little dab on your finger of caliper grease, just kind of wipe back and forth. You don't want it thick at all. It's just like a thin layer on there. And then what I do is I get some of this here coming out, put it on my pinky, and then you can see that boot there, and I just kind of just work it into the joint. Get a little more. Just pop it into the boot, push it in. Same on the back side. And that gets all fresh grease in there. Some of it will come back out when you put the pin in, but the reason I use my pinky is because it's the only finger that really might fit in the boot. I just push it in there, work the grease in. I think I had done these recently. But anyway, then all you do is rub some grease on those pins, slide them back in, and then just remount your brakes. Okay, one thing to know, when you're putting this caliper back on, it's going to be a good idea to go ahead and push those pistons back first. Then when you put it on, you'll see some tabs here that are bent right over all the way through. The bottom one, the middle piece, is actually up a bit from the rest. So you'll see you got to put it in first at the top. You see it kind of go on, slide under and up. Then the bottom one, it'll just pop right in. So you can see it just right there. It'll just pop into place. That's it. You're in business. So from here you just do the reverse, do up your bolts. You'll want to put a little bit of lube on these, on the shafts of these. Don't get too much on the threads. I usually just start maybe top of the thread here up to the shafts, just lube them, pop through, do them up. You have to look up the torque specs if you wish, and that's it. Put your tires on, you're done. So that's just an easy way to maintain your brakes. Make sure they're sliding good, and then the longevity of your pads and your rotors will thank you, and your wallet too. Alright, talk to you guys later.